Good morning, YouTubers. T Square with T Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys today. I'm super kind of excited to do this video because I've been seeing it more and more lately. I kind of want to talk a little bit about the people that are missing out on gold and silver just because they don't really understand it and how people get angry really easy. Some already a little angry. Oh, I sold at 50. It was supposed to be the top and it just keeps going. What do I do now? It's funny how a lot of people just don't really understand what's going on, and they get roped into this buying. They might buy early and then they sell early and then they buy back in high and then they sell too late. Who knows? There's so many different things. I'll be honest, I've made my mistakes over time. I remember when I bought Dogecoin, and if I had just held out for literally another month and a half, another 45 days, it would have been $250,000 on the Dogecoin. But I didn't. I sold early, took a little bit of a profit, and essentially paid for it. If I had held it too long, though, I would have plunged back down, and I would have pretty much lost, I won't say everything, but everything that I had gained for sure. And a lot of people are doing this with silver. You know people. You know some of these people that have sold. Because I read y'all's comments. I see comments in there that say, I bought a couple ounces off my friend. He needed some money. I bought the stuff. I got a great deal on it. And so you know where I'm coming from when I talk about this. And I think it's going to be an interesting topic to the video. So that's what we're going to talk about today, because I don't want to see any of you that are watching this video really miss out. It's not financial advice. I just kind of want you to think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And are you doing it with emotional in mind? Are you being emotional about it? And because there are some people that are saying, it can't go up much higher. It can't go up much higher. They said that at 40, they said it at 50, they said it at 60, and now, they're saying it at 70. And I think there's some interesting stuff going on right now, specifically, with the demand of silver picking up, because people are realizing what is going on. They know that if the price is going up this fast, this quick, that there are more and more people buying. The question is who's buying, what's going on. We talk about this stuff all the time. If you enjoyed today's video, please help me out. Take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. I haven't been really good about getting back to all the comments lately. I'm one of them people that I try to answer all the comments, but I've just been super swamped out right now on stuff, trying to get stuff done. So I apologize for that, but I think it's going to be a good video. So in order to do this video, I'm going to have to tell you different stories of different people that have made the mistake of giving up on their position. And some of them I know personally, and some of them I just hear what they say, and that's it. They bought, they sold, now they regret selling. That's pretty much the consensus that I hear from a lot of people that have sold. Now, the thing you've got to ask yourself, though, is that just because the price keeps going up right now? I mean, if the price was to all of a sudden turn right around and go back down to 20, then those people would probably be very happy with their decision. Selling your silver should be an emotional thing to a certain point. If you really understand silver and you understand why you are buying silver, it should not be an easy choice. It should not be a choice of, oh, hey, yeah, I want to go on a vacation this month, so I'm going to sell my silver. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should not enjoy your money. But I am saying you should look at gold and silver as money. And when you sell it, you are literally throwing away money. When you go to a casino and you give them fiat dollars and they hand you poker chips, you've already made the first step to throw that money away. Even though you didn't play it yet, you've converted it. Most likely, you will play it. And casinos know that. That's the whole reason we don't use cash at casinos. They'll tell you, what they're going to tell you on record is it prevents thefts. And yes, it does prevent thefts. When they drop that cash in that little holder and they hand you chips, it prevents theft. However, does it really prevent thefts when you really think about it? I mean, if I steal your poker chips and I take your chips and I go up to the counter and cash them in, I was still able to steal your money. I've actually seen people try to get away with stealing chips at casinos before. One of the main tricks is where they'll put tape under their glass and they'll tap the stack of chips for good luck, tap, and all of a sudden one's stuck to the bottom of the glass, and then they slide their hand up underneath it. So it has nothing to do with that. What it really has to do with, in my opinion, is to take the dollars from you, and now you're using their money. Chances are you're going to play it. They know once you convert it, that's it. And the same thing applies with precious metals. Once you convert your fiat dollars to gold or silver, it should be difficult for you to let it go. It shouldn't be an easy choice. It really shouldn't be. I sometimes feel really bad if I have to let some ounces go. Sometimes I do let some go. Sometimes I buy extra ounces knowing that I have no intent on keeping them ounces. And I get asked, why would you let them go? Because I didn't have the money to buy them all in the first place. But in order to get the good deal, I had to tell the person, hey, I'll take everything you got. And so I'm in over my head. And what do I do with that in over my head? Well, I divide out the collection, how many ounces there are, if there's 100 and whatever it came out to. And then I just divide that out and I tell friends, hey, you want, I got this many. Get some if you want some. Don't if you don't. It doesn't matter. But it would be something that I would never be able to buy myself. I mean, especially right now. I was talking to someone the other day. I said, I remember when I could order like 100-ounce order. I can't order a 100-ounce order anymore at these prices. I mean, most of us are buying less and less for the same amount of money. And some of us ain't even buying anymore. And I'll be honest, I have slowed down my purchasing on buying right now. Will I pick up? Yeah, if I can pick up at a really good deal. What is a really good deal? Under spot. I'm looking for stuff right now at, $3 under spot. That is pretty good deal in some cases. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. It all depends case by case. But I know a lot of people now that are selling because they don't understand the true fundamentals of metal. They're seeing paper gains. And here's the thing. More and more people are selling at 70 in terms of the people that have not sold yet. I mean, yes, the population that has a sizable stack at $70 is smaller than the population that had a sizable stack at 30. And when silver goes to 100, and I firmly believe that it will, not financial advice, just my opinion. When it goes to 100, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to give up their position. And there's going to be, a lot of people that are crying that they let go of their collection. The other day, I was talking to a younger gentleman, and he's like, dude, are you like a millionaire? And I just burst out laughing. How do you not laugh at that? I said, I won't say I'm a millionaire. I will say I've got a little bit of silver. I've got a little bit of gold. And does it feel good that it's going up in price? Yes. I said, but it takes time. You could pick up a little bit here, a little bit there, and before you know it, you're going to be a so-called millionaire if you think that. You're just going to keep accumulating ounces. And here's the thing. Small amount of ounces adds up quick. How many of y'all remember when we could buy a tube for, what was it, like $15 times? So you're talking like $400 a tube maybe? Let me pull up my calculator for this one because this is kind of comical. Clear. Remember when it was like $17? That's with premium. Some of y'all remember a lot cheaper than that, but let's just multiply that by 20. $340. I mean, a whole tube of silver. And some of y'all were picking it up. Now, remember that number for a minute, 340. Let's clear that, and let's say right now 72. And that's spot price times 20. $1,400, almost $1,000 more. Well, more than $1,000 more. I already forgot that number. But yeah, $1,440 now. And that's when you're just looking at, if you're getting it at spot price, it's probably a generic junk tube of silver. People are really missing the understanding on why they're buying. And that's the only way I can see that they're willing to get rid of this stuff. I know people run into hard times, but people need to not look at their silver as the first example. You know what I mean? Like, everybody thinks, oh, the hot water heater broke down, so I've got to hurry up and go to Lowe's and buy a brand new one. I mean, maybe you could look around on Marketplace and find a used one. I mean, I see houses sometimes just get demolished so they can put a business there instead. Do you think if that hot water heater is in there that somebody really cares if you pull it? I've actually seen people strip out houses. They go and they ask the right people, and they're like, hey, can I pull some stuff out of there, the cabinets or whatever? You're just going to junk the house. You always see stuff on Marketplace. I found a really good deal one time after Hurricane Harvey. It was a whole set of hurricane windows and doors. There was 4 windows, 1 double door. I don't remember what they call them. They call them Dutch doors. It has the big double doors that they use in like condominiums. They had an extra one. Guy put it on Marketplace, and I was like, hey, what's the best you take on it? I think I got the whole thing for like $300. And to him, he didn't care. It was probably part of a bid. It was an extra one, and boom, that was it. But people want to be quick. You've built up that silver. It's gone up in value, and people are quick to want to say, oh, I can sell some ounces and solve my problem. Maybe the car broke down, and you rush out and buy. And let's be honest. Anytime you got to rush out and buy anything, you're probably going to pay more than you should. That's why I have a rule where I won't spend any large amounts of money without thinking about it for 24 hours. I'll be honest, right now, I actually had someone tease me the other day. They're like, what are you doing, dude? I said, I'm taking my laundry to someone's house to wash it. And they're like, what? You don't have a washing machine? I said, I don't have a washing machine right now. I'm hoping to move pretty soon, and I don't want to buy a new washing machine until I move to my new place. Otherwise, it's just another item I got to move. And I know some of y'all are like, dude, you ain't moved yet? Once I move, there'll probably be a big break in the videos for a week. It's still a little ways away. I've been kind of slow working on the other house, and the weather here has been surprisingly still hot. I was telling a friend of mine the other day, I'm like, dude, what, are we ever going to see a winter? But back to silver. I don't mean to get off topic. When people do this, silver is supposed to be money. It should be your true savings account. Fiat dollars, that's what you use to get by from day to day. When you get your paycheck or your monthly check or whatever you get for your income, buy an ounce of silver or 2. Pick up a couple ounces. Look for the deals. Look on Facebook. Look for a stacker that needs money. But make sure if you're buying anything on Facebook or eBay, you know what you're looking at. You have to know your silver, or you have to know once you get it, take it into a coin shop, or you and him could probably even get away with meeting at a coin shop. And you get to the coin shop and just be like, hey, look, I'm bringing a friend of mine in. Can you take a look at these coins and test them for me? I've even seen, and I've even done this with jewelry. I've told the person, I will buy it, but I want to bring it into a pawn shop and see what they would offer me. Whatever they say will have no impact on our deal. And once the guy looks at it and tests the jewelry, this was back when I didn't know how to test jewelry with acid test kit, and said, okay, yeah, everything looks good. It's 14 karat gold. I'll give you $200 for it. Well, right off the bat, if they're willing to give you $200 for it, you can assume it's probably worth more than $200, but you can also assume that it's probably real. because there's no way that was staged, in my personal opinion. I mean, he didn't know what pawn shop you were going to say. He didn't know what you were going to do, that type of stuff. So it gives you an opportunity to kind of look for better deals. A lot of people just run right now and they go to like these big bullion dealers online. Be very mindful. You need to shop around, especially right now. Who's the big buyers in town right now when you really look at it? We're seeing a lot of silver flowing overseas to China. Right now, it's crazy. I'm hearing rumors that China is paying $77 in China, and we're just paying $72 here. That's a $5 difference. In any real market, somebody with money would take that silver, buy it at 72, a million ounces, and take it to China. I mean, think about that. A million ounces at 72, 72, and then take it over there, a million ounces, and get 77. Boom, that's a $5 million difference, But why are we not seeing that? I mean, we kind of are, but it takes time. And I'm really wondering what's going to happen on Friday when the market's open. I'm really wondering if we're going to see a big gap up instantly where we see the price of silver just instantly jump from 72 to what? Will it go from 72 to 77? I don't think it will personally, but I do think we'll see another good day on either Friday or Monday whenever the market's open back up. I don't even know what their schedule is this week, and I haven't looked. I know that the 28th should be a delivery day. So that means that a lot of stuff is going to have to close either on Friday or Monday, which means we're going to probably have a lot of volume moving. We're seeing increased volume on precious metals right now. And, it's sad that so many small players are selling because, like I said, I mean, it's funny. Some people that I know were buying, big orders, and now they're just getting a couple ounces. Some people I know that are younger kids used to buy a couple ounces. Now they're picking up a few silver quarters. And as that happens and that escalates, you got to understand, that means they're not going to have as much silver when everything goes down. I mean, I had one person the other day, he's like, dude, what did I do? I never should have sold my stack when I needed money at 37, I think it was. People don't understand what's going on. What they see is silver at an all-time high, and they assume it can't go up any higher. What they're not factoring in is big companies need silver. You got $1 billion solar panel plant in China, and if they don't have silver to make their panels, then what? Are they just going to shut down? No, they're going to pay whatever they got to pay, and they're going to find a way to do it. If they've got a contract with someone, you think they're just going to pay the fees and not get nothing? No, they just will work on a shoestring budget, and that's it. Silver is going to start pushing the prices of a lot of stuff a lot higher, specifically electronics. I find it interesting, too, that refineries are buying for so low right now. Refineries are so backlogged with people selling, individuals like us, that they're paying like $5 under spot. It's ridiculous in some cases what they're paying on silver. Now, I know some people out there are going to be like, that's crazy. Who in their right mind would sell? People that don't understand why they bought it. All they see is the dollar signs. When in Venezuela, back when their currency pretty well outright collapsed and they shaved a bunch of zeros off of it multiple times, you had people that were silver stackers that had silver in their possession. And the price of silver just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. And as it climbed, a lot of people sold. They didn't realize that it can go a whole lot higher. And so they sold and sold. And then the money started collapsing. That's the only thing we haven't seen here yet. When I talk to people, they're like, dude, this is nowhere near the Venezuela. Yeah, prices have gone up, but they ain't revalued the money. They haven't done anything crazy yet like in Venezuela. I said, that all takes time. I mean, how long has this been going on for when you think about it? Prices been ramping up. They're trying to fight it. And we're in a little bit of a luckier position because we are the world reserve currency. So it does give us a little bit of tolerance to be able to hold out for a little longer. Nobody really, the average person doesn't have any reason to go buy some Venezuelan Bolivar and put it up in their safety deposit box or whatever. But when it comes to U.S. dollars, there's a lot of people out there that will try to get a couple U.S. dollars here and there, and they'll put it in their safety deposit box. And why do they do that? They do that because they view the dollar as a safe haven asset. They view the dollar as good as gold, backed by the confidence of the U.S. dollar, the United States of America. But is it really a lot of confidence there now? When you look at the debt that we have and how it keeps going up, I mean, is it really that much confidence in that now? A lot of people are starting to realize that, you know what? Why would I want to hold a currency that is as good as gold when I can just hold gold? Think about that. Why would I want to hold a mining stock so I can enjoy the rewards if silver goes up when I can just buy the silver, and when silver goes up, it's worth more money? I mean, there are reasons why I would consider mining stock, even though I am against them. But if I had some kind of a 401k or something set up where I had no control over the money, I can't touch it, all I have to do is just leave it in there, well, then yes. Excuse me. I'm tired tonight. It's late. I've been super busy. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Christmas Day. I better get some sleep or he ain't coming. No, I'm just kidding. So in fact, I don't even know if I started out saying that it was Christmas. When you get older, it's just another day. I hate to say that. Unless you got kids. If you got kids, that's awesome. I used to really enjoy it, Christmas, when I had my little one. But now he's all grown up, so... so a lot of people just don't understand, and it's frustrating because these are the people that are going to be kicking themselves in the butt. They're going to be regretting that they sold their position, knowing that they had an opportunity. And I've already seen it with a lot of people. Some of you probably have seen it. I've seen it with family. I've seen it with friends. I've heard people say, I wish I had cracked down and just really pushed myself to buy more when it was cheap. And I always get a kick out of that statement the most, because when I look at the silver price, the fake silver price, and that's what a lot of people are calling it right now, the fake silver price. Because when you have a metal that can just swing the way it is swinging, take a look at this real quick. 72.43. $70.20. When you can have a $2.20 swing that quick, you have to understand the markets are manipulated. Look at the volume. Look at the huge amounts of volume that was taking place trading. And then all of a sudden, it spikes right back up. They're not going to let this just be given away. But the thing is, people can't just buy it here in the United States at $71.85 and then send it to China. Why? Because we don't have the metal here. A lot of people are saying, oh, all this metal's flowing overseas. Some is. Yes, some is. But it's not all flowing overseas. The people that control the metal that's in New York and stuff, they know what's going on, and they're making it more difficult. Look what happened a little while back when they had the cooling issue, and everybody's orders just got canceled all at once, across the board. Everybody's orders canceled. Price dips, orders should have been executed, but nope, never got executed. Boom, then the price just spikes, and then people wake up and they're like, what the heck happened? But people don't understand what's going on. They're not really putting the time. Now, here's another thing, too, I want to talk about. How many people are not willing to put the time into doing a little bit of research themselves to look up some of this stuff, what's going on? How much is silver in China right now? I mean, who knows? I could come on here and tell you that silver's selling for $100 in China. You're just taking my word for it. How many people actually go out and look? What is silver selling for in China? What is the short contract position right now? How many shorts are out there? Are there more shorts or are there less shorts? Are the shorts giving up their position a little at a time? Why is silver going up? Is a lot of people insisting upon delivery? Well, I can tell you there's a lot of companies that know that they're going to need silver, and so they're picking up silver where they can right now. And a lot of people are just going to miss the boat on that. And I really do feel bad for them people because this is an opportunity. This is, some of y'all, I hate to use this saying because I swear that if I use it, the video will just get totally trashed. So you got to read between the lines just a little bit. But you know what's going to happen by 2030. Some of y'all have heard the saying, you're not going to own anything. You know, and some people are going to be really upset, even though they're going to tell you you're going to be happy. And I always laugh at that saying. I'm like, how is that going to go down? You know, we already live in a rent society. I was talking to one friend the other day about how you can finance your Taco Bell now. I found that so comical. He's like, are you serious? I said, yep. I said, before you used to get to put it on a credit card, but now you can just finance it directly through certain apps and stuff. They'll give you the 4Pay or the 3Pay. You just pay it over the next 4 weeks or 4 payments or whatever, and you can rack up more debt. Excuse me. It's crazy what is going on. And it really does look like silver will potentially just continue to go higher and higher for the short time being. The only thing that worries me is between now and the end of the month and the first and maybe second day of the new year. Why? Because of deliveries. I mean, how are they going to deliver all that silver on the 28th? Are they going to really allow all their silver to just get drained out? Because more and more people want physical silver. And if you look at what's going on in China right now, I think people know they're not going to be able to make delivery. And if they're wrong and they do make delivery, they take their silver and then they turn around and they sell it in another country that's paying more money for it. Little by little, people are starting to realize what most of us have all already known, that the whole silver market is rigged, manipulated. That's why companies have paid billions of dollars. What was the big one? $980 million, I think it was. Almost $1 billion from silver manipulation. You know, when you see stuff like that and people try to make an argue, the markets ain't rigged. If they were rigged, the price would not be at $72. That's true, but the rigging is starting to come to an end. That's why we're seeing it go up. If they could keep rigging it, then it wouldn't be a big deal. They would just keep rigging it. But the question is, why can't they rig it anymore? Because people are realizing now that paper doesn't make stuff. It's not the price. It's not the price that's causing the problem. It's the demand. The demand for physical silver is far outstripping the supply because they're actually using the silver up. They're putting it in cell phones. They're putting it in missiles. They're putting it in keyboards, computers, phones, all this different stuff. And when that happens, the silver gets used and depleted. And the savings account, which I like to call it, that holds all the silver, is like your savings account that holds all your money. If you're depleting the money out of your savings account, you're going to the ATM, you're using that debit card every time you go to Taco Bell or whatever, you start to realize, hey, okay, the silver bank account is getting drained. How long? What's going to happen? You know, well, what happens when your bank account goes empty and you try to keep spending? You get shut down violently. That's the same thing that's going on, in my personal opinion, right now with silver. It's working its way that way. And some of y'all will be prepared, and some of y'all will sell short. And by sell short, I mean sell too early. I'm hoping none of you do that, but each person has to make their own choice. That's like one of the things that I've essentially built this channel off of, telling you that you need to make your own decision. Don't just listen to me, because look at what's going on and make the decision on if you're going to do well with silver and you're going to hold it, or if you're going to sell it and take a nice profit. I mean, anybody that's bought silver and has it now, you've probably made a pretty good profit. I don't even see the naysayers anymore. Now I'm worried more about the AIs, the AI videos, because I'm seeing that all over. I mean, before I had to worry about losing my views, losing my commercial revenue, losing all that to just YouTubers that I don't want to say are better, but I will say that have better production than me. My production is not as good as a lot of other YouTubers. I think my knowledge is probably better, but without fancy production and cool stuff, that kind of makes it hard. And I think right now the biggest problem for everybody is these new AI. I started watching one channel and it is incredible. I don't even want to say the name, but some of y'all probably even know who it is. They're popping out 3-4 videos a day. It's all AI done. And the AI can pull reference points from so many different sources. It's almost impossible to keep up with that. I mean, they're pulling the price off the COMEX. They're pulling the price off of the Shanghai markets. They're pulling prices on silver around the world. They're pulling up where it's coming, where it's sourcing, where it's going, who's paying, who's doing. You can't keep up with that. I mean, I only have so many hours in a day to research, and I think I do pretty good, but I can't keep up with that. Well-spoken. It's nuts. Great videos. I'll be honest. I love them. I looked. I knew it was something was off on it, that it was some sort of AI. I didn't realize that it was 100% AI ran. I'm like, what in the world? So, with that being said, because it is Christmas, not going to be a long video. Hopefully everybody's enjoying time with their family. I really don't even think this video will probably get many views because it is Christmas and a lot of people probably ain't going to have time to even watch today. But I still wanted to put it out just because I'm trying to build a habit, build a routine, and hopefully that routine sticks and we go into next year and the channel just continues to grow, even if it is at an extremely slow rate. Taking a quick look at the gold price, we got the gold price right now at $4,478. Pulled back a little bit, but not enough to really worry me. We're definitely seeing the gold-silver ratio get shrunken heavily, so we'll see if that will continue. Bitcoin right now sitting at 87,781, having a hard time moving up higher, basically staying right between that $80,000 and $90,000 mark. Another interesting thing that happened yesterday, silver did take a hit, took a small hit, ended up falling below Apple again. I expect to see this back and forth happen a little bit, but don't be surprised if when the markets open back up, you just see silver just explode and not just take out Apple, but possibly even take out Nvidia. I know some people are like, there's no way it would happen that quick. If Nvidia takes a little bit of a hit and silver does really well, then that's it. That's it. We could see it right up there. It's going to be a sight to see when that happens. And I think that definitely is catching people's attention right now. Other thing to look at is the DXY continuing to go lower and lower in value. That's the dollar up against other currencies. We're seeing it now at 97.95. And the U.S. debt clock continuing to grow, sitting now at $38,522,000,000,000. Out of control. People are now catching on. I'm really curious to see. This is the number right here that I'm watching right now on a regular basis too. The paper to silver ratio right now. Right now it says that it's 356.69 to 1. Now, we know there is a huge amount of paper shorts out there. I'm curious to see, though, if this number will start falling. If it starts falling, then that is a sign to me that big banks that have been shorting silver are slowly letting go of their positions. And they're doing it because they think it's going to go a whole lot higher. The other angle that I want to see that from is if it starts going up, then I'm going to assume they're trying to push that number up to double down and take silver and kind of put it off to the sideline and not allow anybody to get it. So we'll see how that happens, how that plays out. Because you got to understand, if they're putting a lot of paper contracts on the market, they're doing that to beat the price down, and they're still taking the physical. And so I think if all of a sudden we see that 356 jump up to 400 to 1, then people really need to worry. Hopefully they have their silver. With that being said, gonna wrap up here. I think that's it for today. Like I said, not a super long video because it is Christmas. Some people may not even watch this video. But I will definitely keep making the videos. I will see you again tomorrow on T-Square Talk. I hope everybody has a great day, and thank you all for watching and commenting, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Also, if you would, go ahead and check out some of these videos right here. I put 3 videos up, so you can click on another one that you think will be interesting, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So thank you all for watching, and hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.